So good evening and welcome to Joe Martin Field, home of the Bellingham Bells and home of a new 3-game series here in Bellingham. It's a homestand, 6 straight games getting started here for your Bellingham Bells. It'll be a 3-game set against the Nanaimo NightOwls starting today here on this Tuesday evening. It's a cool one in Bellingham, windy day at the ballpark, but luckily no rain. It was raining earlier in the day. Thought maybe there was a chance this game was going to get rained out, but no, we've got our on schedule 6:35 start time, and it should be a fun one. Two North Division teams going head-to-head after the Bells were on the road taking on a South Division team in the Springfield Drifters. Bells played the Drifters in 3 games over the weekend, came away with a series win, so are above 500 at 5-4 entering this 6-game homestand, which features these 3 games against the Nanaimo NightOwls and then 3 games against the Portland Pickles. Let's take you through the road series for your Bellingham Bells. First game out in Springfield. That was on Friday, June 5th at Hamlin Sports Complex down in Oregon. Bells picked up a 10-6 win over the Drifters in 12 innings. Jake Lyle led off the scoring in the 3rd inning after having a double and then moving up to third base on a grounder. Lyle went on to score and give the Bells the initial 1-0 lead in that ball game. Charlie Decker was the starting pitcher on the mound for Bellingham. He went on to have 5 scoreless innings. The Bells added to their 1-0 lead in the 4th inning after Jorge Oliveira Gutierrez singled and swiped both bags. He then scored on an RBI groundout by Dylan Moss. Bo Schinkel, who was playing in his first game as a Bell, singled and stole second base in the 5th inning. Matt Churchill walked, and Nate Johnson reached on catcher's interference to load the bases. Bryce Johnson then walked to score the Bells' 3rd run of the game, and then Oliveira Gutierrez once again involved in a run as he singled to bring home Moss to make it 5-0 Bells. Decker allowed his first 2 runs of the game in the 6th inning and was relieved by Carter Olson. Kenneth Johnson relieved Olson after just 2 batters, but then the Bells led 5-2 after Johnson recorded the final 2 outs in the 6th inning. In the 7th inning, Springfield scored 3 runs off of Kenneth Johnson and reliever Jake Andrew, who debuted and got the final out in the inning. Andrew went on to pitch a scoreless 8th and 9th inning to force the game to extras in a 5-5 tie, and that's when things got interesting. Lyle cashed in one of the Bells' free runners in the 10th on a single. Up 6-5, Everett Swaim, familiar name to all you Bellingham Bells fans, he's back. He returned to the Bells, gave up an unearned run to one of the Drifters' tiebreaker runners, so we now went into the 11th, tied 6-6. In the bottom of the 11th, both teams failed to score a run. Bellingham then broke the game open, though, in the 12th inning, beginning on an RBI single from Bryce Johnson. Oliveira Gutierrez knocked in a run, and then Bryce Johnson scored on an error. Oliveira Gutierrez scored on an RBI groundout by Tyler Peschke, and that capped a 4-run inning that gave the Bells a 10-6 lead. And then Everett Swaim inherited those 2 runners on the base paths again, shut down the Drifters. He struck out the side in the bottom of the 12th to earn the win. Oliveira Gutierrez in that game led the Bells with 3 hits. He drew 2 walks. Lyle and Bryce Johnson both had 2 hits in that game 1 against Springfield. Now, the Drifters got their revenge in extra innings the next night with a walk-off win over Bellingham. And in that one, it was the Bells' 2nd consecutive extra inning game and the 3rd in the last 4 days, going back to the Wenatchee series here at home. They fell 9-8 in that game off a walk-off wild pitch. In that game, Bo Schinkel walked to start the game, stole both second and third base. Jorge Oliveira Gutierrez grounded out, but then Schinkel scored on that ground out to give Bellingham a 1-0 lead. They took another early lead. The Bells starter in that game was Brody Olmstead, who pitched his first 2 innings scoreless, but allowed 2 runs in the 3rd inning to surrender the lead. Springfield added on another run by capitalizing on a Bells error in the 4th and led 3-1 after Olmstead's 5-inning start that featured 3 punch-outs. Aspen Alexander was hit by a pitch to begin the 6th inning, and Matt Churchill doubled. Alexander scored after an error by the Drifters, and Jake Lyle launched a 3-run home run. Dylan Moss walked and moved to second on a single by Ty Rusko. Moss then went to third base on a wild pitch and scored on a RBI single from Taylor Davis. The Bells had a reliever, Evan Reese, take over in the 6th inning, but he allowed a 3-run homer that cut into Bellingham's big lead, and the Bells just led 7-6 after 6. Frank Willius made his debut with Bellingham, struck out 3 batters, and that sent the game into the 9th inning where Thrasher Steed was 1 out from the save when the Drifters had a ground ball to left field that tied the game, and then when they headed into extras in the 10th inning, the Bells took a lead off of Bryce Johnson's RBI. It was an 8-7 lead for Bells in the bottom of the 10th, but then Steed struck out the first batter of the Drifters, but then Springfield loaded the bases. They just needed one base runner to do that. And then Nick Gabino tied the game for the Drifters, and then the walk-off run was scored on a wild pitch. So the Bells and Drifters split their first two games, and with a book-ending victory in the first and third, Bells took away a 12-11 shootout victory. We don't even have to get into all the scoring plays on that one because it was just kind of a mess, right? The Drifters jumped on the Bells starter, Lame Simonson, in the first inning. Some other highlights, Tyler Peschke had a 2-run home run in that game. The long ball was working. After Simonson came in, you had Cal Young finishing the frame, but that would be his only inning. Aiden Collin pitched in that ball game. Zach Elsos had a bulk relief appearance. He was kind of key in saving the bullpen. But after 6 innings, it was tied 11-11. Through 6 innings, these two teams that high of scoring. It was an interesting game to go away, but the Bells got it after Oliveira Gutierrez brought in the winning run in the 7th inning. He scored Bo Shingle on a ground out, and then Elsos pitched until the 9th, struck out 6 batters and got the win. Frank Willius got the save as he struck out 3 of 4 batters that he faced. Bellingham improved to 5-4 in a game where all but one batter had a hit for the Bells, and the only batter to not get a hit was Bo Schinkel. And Schinkel was the only hitless Bell, but he walked 3 times. He scored 3 times as the leadoff man, as Rusko and Peschke tied for the team high in RBI with 3 each. It's a high-scoring game, but the Bells came away with the victory and now are back here at home for 6 straight games, 6:35 tonight against the Nanaimo, and tomorrow and Thursday, and then a South Division West Coast League Championship rematch against the Portland Pickles. 4:35 on Friday, 6:35 on Saturday, and 1:35 on Sunday, all here at home. Plenty of baseball here at Joe Martin Field. If you haven't caught a game just yet, no better way to celebrate the summer evenings. Tonight we've got our Tuesday deals where you've got cheap beers, cheap tickets. It's the perfect time to go to a ballpark on a Tuesday, and to make it even better, you have college night tonight. They were celebrating the Western Washington University rugby team out there with the first pitch of the game. Bells are taking the field, so we will step away, get lineups when we come back. It's the Nanaimo NightOwls and Bellingham Bells in game 1 of 3 between these two North Division opponents.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
Puget Sound Energy is thrilled to team up with the Bellingham Bells for Community Wednesdays this season. Every Wednesday home game at Joe Martin Field, PSC and the Bells will celebrate a featured Whatcom County nonprofit with a $2,000 donation. Come out to the ballpark to cheer on the Bells while supporting these amazing organizations that make our community stronger. Together, we're building a better Whatcom County. See you at the field. Go Bells! Choose cooperative. Choose community. Bank with Local Industrial Credit Union. Proud Sunday savings sponsor of the Bellingham Bells. If you live, work, or attend school in Washington, you can join a credit union that puts people first. Local decisions, personalized service, and a real commitment to our community. Learn more at industrialcu.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. When pain or injury slows you down, Peace Health Orthopedics, Sports Medicine, Foot and Ankle, and Trauma Services are here to help. Our experienced orthopedic team cares for bones, joints, and muscles, offering personalized treatment and same-day appointments. From everyday aches to unexpected injuries and joint replacement, Peace Health helps you move better, feel stronger, and get back to your life. Learn more about Peace Health Orthopedics at peacehealth.org. That's peacehealth.org.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
Hey, this is Lathan Haywood. You're listening to Bells Radio, home of the 2025 champs. Ring 'em.
So we're nearing our first pitch here at Joe Martin Field. Let's get you the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. The Nanaimo NightOwls and Bellingham Bells head-to-head here. Game 1 of 3 between the two North Division rivals. The visiting NightOwls will be led off by Zia Chang out in left field. Batting second is the 2025 West Coast League All-Star in center field, Talon Zank. Batting third for the NightOwls and DHing is Ethan Reynolds. Batting cleanup, the power hitter out of Azusa Pacific, is the first baseman Jacob Hayes. Out in right field and batting fifth is Davis Downer. Batting sixth and making his debut at shortstop, Francis Sabero. Batting seventh and playing second base, a late addition after a scratch from the NightOwls, is Kyler Shojinaga. He will be followed by the third baseman, Ryder Florence, and then rounding out Nanaimo's lineup is the catcher, Clark Springs. Cesar Corrales Jr. gets the start on the mound. He'll duel against the Bells' starting pitcher, Lathan Haywood. Saw him here in the home opener, and a week later, he's back out up onto that mound to get a start here at home. A returning Bell back here. Looking at the Bells lineup, it's Bo Schinkel, our first look at home for him, the center fielder leading off tonight for Bellingham. Ty Rusko up in the 2 spot at third base. Batting third is the first baseman, Matt Churchill. DHing and batting cleanup is Jake Lyall. Last time you saw him, he delivered a walk-off sacrifice fly. Bryce Johnson bats fifth and is in right field. Dylan Moss is doing the catching at sixth in the order. Tyler Peschke is going to bat seventh, and he'll start at shortstop tonight. Aspen Alexander is the second baseman. And then it is Tristan Schaefer rounding out the Bells' starting lineup in this one. Lathan Haywood, as we mentioned, the right-hander, starting on the mound for the Bells. He'll work in the battery with Dylan Moss for the first time between each other as we get ready to go here at Joe Martin Field. Lathan Haywood, a junior from Stetson University, made 12 relief appearances for 19 and a third innings this year. A 6.52 ERA with a bit of a struggle for him, but we are ready to go just about. We'll look at the leadoff man, Zia Chang, the left fielder, a sophomore out of Hawaii Pacific. We'll get things started for the Nanaimo NightOwls, who most recently took on the Edmonton Riverhawks in a 3-game series. The NightOwls took the last 2 games of that series to improve to 6-3. A good start for the NightOwls after last season going 28-32 and missing the playoffs. The NightOwls became a team in 2020. First year in the league was 2022, so they're still building their program. But, hey, a 6-3 start, not bad. Bells right on their tail, though, 5-4. Right now it's Wenatchee and Nanaimo tied atop the North Division standings here in the WCL. So this is a key early series in the first half. A reminder, in the West Coast League, first half champions get an auto playoff berth. These are two teams that have had good starts to their first halves and could very well be looking to get that early playoff spot, along with Wenatchee battling for it. So anytime you're facing a North Division opponent, it's going to be a big deal. So a 3-game set here between Bellingham and Nanaimo, our neighbors just up to the north. So here we go. Leading off for the NightOwls, Zia Chang, hit .324 this year in 71 at-bats. 6 doubles for him, 2 triples, 1 home run. And the left fielder leads it off for Nanaimo. Nanaimo wearing their red tops, gray bottoms. Bellingham in those all-white uniforms. Seen them wear those all-whites the most of any uniform this year. Haywood comes home with the first pitch of the game. It misses low, and that's ball 1. And we are underway here on a Tuesday evening. It's college night at the ballpark. Local colleges, Western Washington and Whatcom Community College. On the mound is a right-hander from Stetson. He's missed with his first 2 pitches, 2-0. Haywood back in a Bellingham Bells uniform after pitching last season with the Bells. Tossed 13 innings with Bellingham in 2025. Also had 22 1/3 in 2024 as he gets a swing and miss from Zia Chang, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Here's the 2-1 from Haywood. That is low. 3 balls and a strike. So Haywood behind his first leadoff batter to start this start here at home. Here's his 3-1. Low and inside and a leadoff walk. On 5 pitches, Chang will reach. Talon Zank, a returning Night Owl, a West Coast League All-Star back in 2025. Played in 36 games for Nanaimo. He's a sophomore out of Everett Community College. Getting the start in center field for this game. Haywood surrenders a leadoff walk, so 1 on and no outs for the Night Owls. There's a swing and a miss from Zank, strike 1. Zank 306 average, 17 doubles, 2 triples, and a homer in 54 games this year. 2 straight strikes, that time called against Zank, so now 0-2. Here's an 0-2 pitch from Haywood. This is lined out to left field. It'll be a base hit for the Night Owls. And the first 2 runners have reached against Haywood via the walk and the single. So now Night Owls trying to threaten to do early damage. Ethan Reynolds, the DH, will come up. Looking to maybe cash in some early runs here for Nanaimo. Reynolds, a freshman from Western Kentucky University. 7 for 28 at the plate in his limited appearances for WKU. Oh, and he gets hit with the first pitch he sees. So now the base is going to be loaded here early against Haywood, and the Night Owls' chance to have some real damage in this frame. No out, space is juiced on just about 3 of the most common ways you can get on first base. A walk, a single, and a hit by pitch. Now Haywood, facing traffic here, will face the dangerous hitter in Jacob Hayes, a redshirt sophomore from Azusa Pacific, who appeared in all 56 games this year, and he crushed the baseball. 15 home runs for 44 RBI. He was a West Coast League All-Star last year for the Night Owls, a season in which he drove in 39 runs for these Night Owls. No balls and a strike as that one goes inside. One ball and a strike as Haywood pitches home. This time it's inside. Two balls and a strike on the Night Owls' first baseman, Hayes. This is hit on the ground. Peschke, the shortstop. He'll go to 2 for 1. Alexander, the turn to first, and they do not get him. So it'll be a RBI ground out fielder's choice for Hayes, and the Night Owls are on the scoreboard. It's a 1-0 lead for Nanaimo. One out, first pitch swinging. This is lined out to right field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit for the Night Owls. Nanaimo gets in another run. Downer attacking the first pitch, and he makes it 2-0. So second and third now for the Night Owls. Here's an 0-1 pitch from Haywood. That's ball one. This one lined out to right field. It's caught by Alexander, though, the shortstop. Alexander retires the second batter of the inning. Strike one after a foul tip. Night Owls with 3 runs across the inning as Haywood misses to Shojinaga. 1 ball and a strike. That one inside for ball 2. Chang, Zenk, and Hayes have scored in the inning. Downer is at third base. Shojinaga is at the plate. And he is hit. And the disastrous first inning here for Lathan Haywood continues. So now the Bells will take a meeting on the mound. Jim Clem is going to come out there. Night Owls almost batting around here in this first inning. So the mound visit over for Bellingham. Down 3-0 in the ball game. Runners on first and third for the Night Owls. Pickoff move to first base from Haywood. Runner is back safely. That one the batter thought about, but lays off for ball one, Florence. Here's a 1-0, and that is inside. Ball and a strike on Ryder Florence. Here's a 1-1 pitch set. Just misses inside, and Haywood's long inning drags on. Night Owls with 3 runs on just 2 hits in this inning. Walk hit by pitch, fielder's choice helping out some base runners. First and third for the Night Owls. This one sprayed off the right side foul, and it'll be 2 strikes on the third baseman. This one chopped on the ground foul. Florence this time early on it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Haywood setting a 2-2 count. 2 outs in first and third for Nanaimo. That one in there for called strike 3. Nanaimo gets 3 across in the inning. It's 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the first inning.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations